Algebra 1, Section 4.4, we're dealing with intercepts. And we're going to use intercepts in order to graph lines. Now this is kind of a shortcut. Remember how in the first section we dealt with those charts, you plugged in all the numbers and then after all the work, then you plotted the lines and graphed them. Well, if you know the intercepts, all you need to do is find the two intercepts, draw a line through them, and you're good. What an intercept means is basically where it crosses the axis, okay? For example, if I have here, this is my x and this is my y. Well, this right here would be my y-intercept because it's where it crosses the x-axis. And this right here is called my my x-intercept because it's where it crosses the x-axis. So if I can find those 2 points, then I can just easily draw my line through them. All right? So my intercepts are found mathematically by simply finding y-intercept crosses y-axis when x equals 0. So x is 0 and y is a number. Doesn't matter what number, but anytime I have 0 in the x, I know I have a y-axis because the y-axis doesn't move left or right. It just stays on the 0 for the x and it goes up and down. So my y-axis, mathematically, once you see a 0, you know that it's one of the intercepts. This is y-intercept. My x-intercept is the opposite. If this one is x equals 0, then this one would be y equals 0. So I still have the number x, any number for x, but my y is 0. So that means it doesn't go up and down. It just stays on the x-axis, and that's how I know my two intercepts. So basically, in order for me to find it, if I can put the 0, plug in the 0 into the appropriate letter, then I will be able to solve and find where it crosses the x-axis. Let's try it. So instead of graphing and making a chart, let's find the intercepts. Let's first find the x-intercept. Now again, the x-intercept is when y equals 0. So I have my number x. I'm trying to look for this number, okay? But y is 0. So y equals 0. All right? So let's plug it in. 2, I'm still looking for x, plus 5, and then I'm going to put in 0 equals negative 10. So these become 0. 5 times 0 is 0. So I end up with 2x equals negative 10. Now, I'm supposed to isolate x, get it by itself so I know what x is. X's friend is 2 right now, and 2 is being multiplied by x. So the opposite would be dividing by 2. This cancels out. The negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. So my point here is negative 5, 0. Okay? So my x-intercept, I'm going to go negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because it's my x-intercept, I don't move up and down, and that's 0. My y-intercept is the same kind of method, except this time I'm going to put 0 for the x instead of the y. So I know my x is 0, and I'm trying to find my number y when x equals 0. So I'm going to plug it in. Same equation, I'm just going to plug in this time, 0 in for 2, plus 5, and I'm trying to figure out y equals negative 10. Well, this makes that 0. I end up with 5y equals negative 10. So then I'm going to divide both sides by 5 to make y by itself, and I get y equals negative 2. So this y is negative 2. So when I graph, I'm not going to move left and right because my x is still 0, and I'm going to go down 2. So this is my intercept. So the graph of this line is just to connect the two intercepts. And that is the graph. And again, I apologize because I don't have graph paper, but you should get the gist of it. Go ahead and try page 225, number 10, and I will see you in class.